Welcome back to my channel, MB Capital Strategies. As I already promised, today is Tuesday and here comes the new portfolio. Update video for the period of October. I've already set everything up, so from October 1st until October 31st. The value on October 1st was 68,999. I invested €713.51. Our total portfolio value as of October 31st from €72,307. We had a share price gain of 1,390.51, a realized profit of €15.99, and dividends of €164.41. The top movers in this range were Unilever Indonesia with 40%, followed by Bitfarms, TransAlta, Fortum, Intel, and Nordic American Tankers. Yes, during this period, here again are the stocks that have basically increased. So you can see here again that shipping has picked up. Coal or tuna. Gala was at least under pressure, probably also due to the dividend payment, among other things. Exactly, I'll just quickly go through it as well. Vale gained 11% during this period. Medical Property Trust as well. Yes, that's how things developed accordingly. UPS with 18%, which has increased. Enagas as well. Glencore with 5%. Wallenius with minus 10%. I think they also had a dividend payout during this period. Yes, that's pretty much what happened during this period. That just happened, so I would say let's just take a look at the activities in general. What exactly happened during this period? What did I buy? What did I give away? And if anything was sold as well. In total, I bought something for €799, sold something for €102, and I received a dividend of 164.39. Let's first take a look at what was forecasted as dividend for the month of October. All right, we're almost there. Exactly now we're at the period of October. Those would have been my highest payouts. Exaro with 9.26%, that would be €24. Then €11 from CMB Tech, that is from Euronav. What other amounts do we have? Here, €16.51 from Innovative Industrial Properties, or rather €16.31. BCE with €5.78. Cardinal Energy with €4.50. And then we have Global Medical Rate with €11, with €6.30 from Crosspoint Property Trust. And then here we also have €9.58 from Petroshine. Exactly, so for this Satrum, no high payouts were planned, at least in terms of the total amount. Looking at the data, a grand total of €209.87 was originally forecast to be spent right here. But that is definitely something you can see. This time the actual dividend turned out to be lower. To be honest with you, I actually received 164.39 instead of the expected amount of 209.87. So on the right, you can again see the shares, the total number of units, and the actual dividend that I received. Let's just conduct a comprehensive review of this from a broad perspective as well, focusing specifically on the most significant and larger investment positions. However, the amount is probably not that high. For example, Ryzen had paid $5.23. Euro, 71 ping insurance. Then Petroshiner, then Central Asia Metals. Crosspoint Global Medical Red with €8.18. My purchase. I made another purchase from Wallenius and Helmsen Logistics for €6.76, a total of 15 pieces for €100. Then I bought AG Cross International stock, 5 pieces, a total of €114 at €22.80 per share. I received a dividend from Tungala Resources of 22.11 euros. Then Sim Intercredit Shipping. I bought more again. 10 pieces for 114.44 euros at 11.14 euros per share. Exactly, and with Yancoal Australia I also bought more. 57 pieces for 173 euros at 3.04 euros per share. Then Medical Property Trust, with a payout of 9 euros and here again of 2.39 euros. Now here we have CMB Tech, various payouts, a total of 3. Then I received a dividend from Mac, a small one. Then I sold Ride Blockchain. Then I received a dividend of 16.99 euros from Exaro. Then I'll go again. 2.05 euros. I bought more Tomline Oil for 37.22 euros, a total of 3 shares for 111.66 euros. And SFL Corporation 18 pieces for 6.44 euros, for a total of 115.88 euros. Exactly, that's basically what just happened during this period. So, no extremely high payouts during this period. I think my highest payout will actually come this year in December. We'll just take another quick look at that later as well. And I'd say, let's also take a quick look at November maybe. This is very up to date now, so you can also see what has been happening with me, what I've bought. Let's just go right into it. We'll just do it straight away. For now, we're only interested in the purchase. I bought Wilmar International, 50 shares for 113 euros. Farmland Partners for 172 euros and 10 cents. That's where I got in now. The reason was simply that I personally also like to prefer agricultural products in general. And especially during this period from September to October, it's usually very cheap because of the crop failures, which I already mentioned in the last portfolio video, and in my opinion, it's just simply, a good aspect for me in terms of diversification, especially in the segment where I'm already active. So I'll go into another playlist anyway. Just go through what I have and how I evaluate it. I also cover individual stocks themselves. Just now, we have different playlists, like for example, the mining stocks topic. And I'll probably create a lot of playlists there as well, and at some point, of course, agriculture will also be included, for example. For me, as I said, it's simply an additional supplement that just fits my system or my strategy. With Tungala Resources, I bought in again 7.3 shares at 4.12 euros each for a total of 152 euros. Exactly. Then I bought more Flower Foods shares because they're just very cheap right now at the moment. Also a good addition. And at the low price level where the stock is currently, it's definitely worth considering buying for me. Then I entered or increased my position in Arcadian Timber, in this case by 12 shares for 103.80 euros. Arcadian Timber, they deal with paper and also cardboard packaging, so especially for online retail, that's obviously needed. Let's take a quick look at it. What does it look like here then? Overall, I have invested 170 euros, or rather a total investment of 182.90 euros. We have a purchase price and they also pay dividends, currently at 8.22%. Yes, and for 2026 they've already practically announced 18 cents. Yes, announced. You can also see a kind of pattern, always 20 cents. So now here, maybe for the first month, or rather for the first payout, it's definitely already a bit less, by 2 cents. That has been announced. This is what the current prices look like. Arcadian Timber supplies primary forestry products in eastern Canada and the northeastern United States. The company operates in 2 business segments, NB Timberland and Maine Timberland. The company's products include softwood and hardwood, pulpwood and byproducts from biomass. Yes, and for me, it's simply an additional good complement. Shipping is generally increasing as well, and with that, the calories are usually always included. And for that reason, I think it's also a really good addition. What else did we buy? I also bought more Suncook Energy, 25 shares at 6.50 each, totaling 162.50 euros. With Diageo exactly, they produce, market, and sell alcoholic beverages worldwide through their subsidiaries. The company offers scotch, whiskey, gin, vodka, rum, and ready-to-drink products. They also include cream liqueur, raki liqueur, wine, tequila, Canadian whiskey, and American whiskey. Exactly, so it's simply a food manufacturer primarily focused on alcohol. Currently also under pressure because of disappointing quarterly results as of November 16th. It was yesterday, 2 days ago, yes. Exactly, so there have also been some slightly worse news recently, I'll just say, which may have pushed the share price down even further. But for me, it most certainly serves as a valuable and significant expansion to my professional creative portfolio. Here is announced specifically at 16.10. If we now look at the next figure, we're at 90 cents accordingly. So it will probably be lower as well, because otherwise we used to have around 94, 92 cents or so. But we actually always see a small nice increase here, sometimes a bit lower, then higher again. So we see that it's just normal here for the dividends to be increased, and sometimes there are short setbacks or it stays the same. But generally speaking, we have a dividend of about 2.8 to 3%, I would say. Sometimes we've also had 4%, but I think for a consumer stock in this regard, 3% is also completely normal. I also think that's an additional good diversification for me, simply in the portfolio. Also, it's more of a smaller position because currently I definitely want more dividends and to focus more on high yield. And maybe at some point in about 5 years, I can take some of the capital I have in my savings plan and maybe invest it in other sectors that might be more defensively positioned. But I don't know yet, because so far things have actually been working quite well with these cycles, I would say. But just so you can see what's generally happening with me, I bought more shares of LyondellBasell Industries, 5 shares at 31 euros and 87 cents each, for a total of 199 euros and 35 cents, right? That was the period in November. Or rather, what does was mean? That was just a brief look at November. It's still ongoing. There are still plenty of days left when dividend payments are due. Exactly. Then I would just say, let's go ahead and take a look at December. Or we can go through what my highest dividend was in that sense. January, 86 euros. February, 355. March, 292. April, 382. May, 523 euros and 59 cents. That's also partly because we have a lot of annual payers like VW, for example. Then for June, we have 489 euros. Then for July, 260.95. August, 216.85, so you see more there. After that, my dividend is a bit lower. Then we have 613 euros and 27 cents for the month of September. Then October, 209 euros 87, and then November, which is where we are right now, we're at 192 euros 81. And now we come to December, although here you probably have to subtract something. Namely here, with Adaro Energy, I already saw that a dividend of 104% is being proposed. But that can't be right, so I don't really know what exactly will be paid out here. I'm just curious to see what it will be in the end. Exactly, and as I said, I don't think the stock will pay out another 104%. I find that very unlikely. So I would just maybe subtract a bit here, or just keep things in perspective when we see the final total. Zementograd shipping with 179 euros, which is just being forecasted here for now. But let's just wait and see. Let's just be surprised. Iene Gas is also only expected so far. But I can definitely imagine that the amount will be about right. long story short. So I would maybe just subtract around 200 euros. I would receive a total in December of 1,055 euros and 10 cents. Let's say we subtract about 200 euros, then we'd be at around 800 euros, maybe. Specifically for the month of December, which I would already personally consider to be a very strong performance in general. I am just getting a total of 800 euros as a monthly dividend payout, an amount which I always completely and automatically reinvest back into the market. And then I also just always like to look at what's cheap. Actually, right now I have a bit more cash lying around. Yeah, because for me, a lot of things just haven't really offered any great entry opportunities anymore. Especially in the high yield sector, there are actually a few things that have just gotten away from me. Yeah, I'd say they've moved on and I don't want to chase after them anymore. And maybe it could also happen, depending on how OPEC reacts. They had also planned to increase oil production again, the oil quantities. So maybe at some point there could be another price drop. So let's just wait and see how things develop for me. Yeah, that's how it is. That's the current state of things. Did I overlook anything else? Honestly, I don't think so. We're just wrapping things up here again right now. That's where we are again, with about 20 minutes of video material. So that's my update as of yesterday. And not much will have changed today. For those who simply haven't seen the previous video, I'll just quickly show here how my returns have developed and who my top performers are at the moment. I can also just quickly show the losers. For example, that's Canopy Growth, Canacol Energy, again Canopy Growth, New Fortress Energy, again Canacol, Canacol Energy, and Backstage International. These are currently my losers. Yeah, that is exactly right. That is precisely the way that things have developed over time. And that is also how things generally tend to look for us at the moment. Yeah, that is all we have for you in this video. And I've now also shown you what's currently coming up. What am I maybe just keeping an eye on now? Yeah, so that is basically my entire professional investment portfolio at the current moment. Of course, I'll definitely keep you updated. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. Or if you have any comments in general, like how your approach or strategy with the euro is, I'd definitely be very interested to hear about that too. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my video. Like I said, I'm really happy and excited that there will definitely be more videos coming more often now. And also more regularly, for sure. As I said, this is not investment advice. Definitely do your own research as well. I'm looking forward to having you tune in again for the next video. And as always, I wish you successful investing. See you in the next video.